Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm really looking forward to the Diablo 4 early access launch. I played a lot of hours of Druid during the betas, and if you just want to sit down and play Druid at release without having to worry about specific gear or aspects or any of that, I think this build's awesome. Alright, let's get into it. For the generator, we're going Fierce Stormstrike. Vulnerable is a big damage multiplier in D4, and 50% chance on every basic attack is quite strong. For our core skill, I'm going Landslide. And if you find a really good piece of gear for another core skill, by all means go with that. But Landslide's pretty reliable, it's a ranged option, and once you're used to playing around it, you can set up guaranteed crits with 40% bonus damage. And for the passives, we want bonus spirit and spirit generation from our basic skill. Not something you need to max out early, but Druid always kind of struggles for spirit in the early game. We're also going for crit strike versus close. Yes, Landslide is a ranged skill, but it can also be used at point blank, and it's usually easy enough to take advantage of that against bosses. For defensive skills, we take Earthen Bulwark with the Fortify Life passive. 18% is a nice amount of Fortify, and that's going to synergize with some skills later. Then Bloodhowl is a really strong self-heal. Kills reduce the cooldown by a second. And this 20 free spirit every time we cast it, in my opinion, this is the reason to take the skill. Companion skills, we're taking Poison Creeper. I feel like this is the best companion skill by a good margin. The DOT, but also the extra effects it gives are just amazing. Look at that, 20% crit chance while poison, just nasty. And we're gonna take Ravens for similar reasons, not really for the damage, although the damage is respectable. We get another 5% crit chance, plus a guaranteed proc of Vulnerable. So if you hit Vines and Ravens at the same time, not only are you gonna do a ton of damage, and say you followed up with a Landslide, that Landslide's gonna have plus 25% crit chance and the Vulnerable multiplier. Also Call of the Wild, great book, and just straight up 30% bonus damage for our companions. Awesome for builds running 2 or more companions, but I think you'll be surprised at just the damage of the Vines alone. We're already at 6 skills, so from this branch we're just taking passives. And I'll come back to these Earth ones in a second, but these ones are really strong. We're gonna take 1 rank just to tap into Verse Slowed that you get on some weapons. For the same reason Barbs take a rank of Hamstring, and then 30% bonus crit damage to poison, just absolutely massive. And if I'm not mistaken, that applies to all your teammates in group play too. So finally we have Petrify, and if you want to go offense for defense, you can swap this out for Earthen Bulwark or Bloodhowl. So this is another massive crit damage bonus versus bosses, and if you remember, Landslide gives a guaranteed crit with plus 40% bonus damage. You add the 50% from this, and suddenly we're looking at pretty respectable damage even before you get any type of gear. These Fortify passives, 15% from all sources. This is going to affect our 18% base that we get from Earthen Bulwark. If you don't understand Fortify, it's basically a shield over our max health that enemies will have to chip through before dealing health damage. So 15% chance on any hit to give us 4% Fortify, that's huge. And then 20% Fortify from basically all the CCs. Probably the most common way to die in D4 is getting wombo comboed while CC'd. So 20% of our life as Fortify when that happens is potentially life-saving. Oh yeah, so back to these Earth passives up here. We have Immobilize on our generator, on Landslide, and on Poison Vines. We have Slowed on Poison Vines and Stunned on Petrify, so this should work well. And on top of those other sources of Fortify, we're now getting 7% extra Fortify per crit. And to finally cash in on all that Fortify stacking, we're taking this for 12% extra damage anytime our Fortify is over 50%. And for our final skill, we take Earthen Might, kind of a no-brainer, nothing else makes sense for this build, so grab it. And that's it. I think we do nice damage, I think we're tanky, I think we're versatile, and the best part of all of it is we don't need to farm for any specific gear or aspects to just play. So this is the build I'm going for just for starting off leveling on launch. Check it out, let me know how it feels. Like the video if you liked the video. Consider subscribing for more Diablo 4, and most importantly, have an awesome rest of your day.